G'day everybody, Blue here, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. We are continuing our exploration of the lower city. In the previous episode we did manage to free Mayrina from the hex of that hag that is targeting her. I don't know if it's Auntie Ethel that's targeting her or another hag, or not really certain at this point. But we do still have something to do with them, which is to help them save another kid from the grasps of a hag, or perhaps multiple hags, who knows. We did just meet this Araj as well, who we met in Moonrise Towers in Act 2, and yeah, that was kind of interesting. She runs a very weird sort of setup, a weird shop, and I sort of suspect that she's experimenting on some people in Baldur's Gate. But anyway, let's move on. I think I'm going to check this house first and then move on to the Blushing Mermaid, hopefully. Let's have a look. Oh, we haven't been in here. Beehive Goods and Wares.
Beehive Goods and Wares.
Anything spare? Dear Oliver, forgive the intrusion, but you wouldn't happen to have any supplies that we might be able to take off your hands in order to distribute to the refugees, would you? Anything you can spare would be greatly appreciated. Drop off at Notal's hostel anytime you can. Thank you. Okay. Let's check this out. Now, we've got too many people in the group here. Let me just drop people off in the front of the shop. I guess the rest of the party can maybe come with us, but all the summons can stay there.
Whether it's mirth or mending, we've the beverage for you. Bottles for here or to go.
Can't read that one, apparently, but that's fine. Let's have a chat with Oliver.
What are you after, friend? Got grub, potions, a few nice vintages? Best stock up now before someone clears me out to fill their larder.
I guess he's just a food vendor? I think so, although he does have quite a few potions here, and it might not be a bad idea to try and purchase ready-made potions. Though, I don't think I have the gold right now. I could actually switch to Will. Guileful Movement sounds interesting. I know I haven't exactly used it, but can't be reduced by difficult terrain. Can't be paralyzed or restrained. I am eyeing this, the Cloud Giant Strength. This would be useful as well. We could maybe just buy a few of these things. Let's use Will to make the purchase.
The pride of the gate.
I feel like I'm making purchases left, right, and center these days.
Careful! What are you after, friend? Got grub, potions, a few nice vintages? Best stock up now before someone clears me out to fill their larder.
And we do have potions for healing as well. I don't know if I should buy them or not. We've got our own supply, but we don't have a huge amount of some of this stuff. Let's see. Is there anything else? The Sea Invisibility one could be useful, because we have been using these every now and then. Actually, no, I take that back. We have Gale with the ability to see invisibility push comes to shove. I think we probably don't really need that. Though, hang on. See invisibility spells, is that something that you have to cast on yourself? I think so. So would have to always bring Gale. I suppose maybe we should just buy it in that case. Anything we can sell to make up for all of this? I mean, we did pick up these things. I think everything else we're probably going to just keep. Yeah, running out of gold, it feels. I'd have to fetch some more gold at the camp, but anyway, let's barter. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I've seen any comments come through about that really expensive piece of armor that Damon is selling. So I need to sort of loop back to the comment sections for those videos and see what your thoughts are. So I haven't exactly done that just yet. Before we proceed further, I do want to just swap Will's boots out. I think arcane bolstering should be good. So the idea is I should be dashing around with Will, because, you know, some of his other bonus actions, although good for things like popping on resistance or whatever, I think it's a good idea to try and get into fights, particularly if we're using Booming Blade. We can dash into a group of enemies, use Booming Blade, and then, you know, we should be able to have, you know, Arcane Charge to throw other spells down at enemies that are further away. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like a bad idea, but I guess the thing that we need to be mindful of is that he does need to be threatened for us to get the bonus. It's a bit tricky, isn't it? Because not only do you need to dash to get arcane charges, but then the arcane charges only come into play when you're near enemies, so I feel like it's a very specific situation. Anyway, time to have a look around and see if there's any info we can dig up from this place. Do I want to rob this guy blind? I mean, I'll try to avoid that if I can. Hi from Boriskir Bridge. We're all right. Hi, Papa. Crowell is making me write this because he still has trouble with his letters. We're in Boresker Bridge, where the Seven Sons are gathering the caravan for the trip back to the gate. Only the costerman says departure might be delayed until we hear that the road to the city is clear. Some kind of cultist uprising? Anyway, we're fine, and we've learnt so much from the older caravan guards. I can dual wield now with a dagger in my offhand, so gotta go. Don't work too hard and keep the beehive buzzing. Haha. Thegless. Okay. Always nice to hear from your loved ones. So that's very nice of them to write back while they're out on their adventures. Is there anyone else here? Maybe he's living alone. Another letter here. Congratulations and surprise. Dear Bubbles, I can't believe my oldest baby girl just had her own baby girl. I'll come out to Stony Eyes for a visit as soon as I'm sure the Flaming Fist will let me back in through Basilisk Gate afterward. I'm sure you don't want me stuck hanging out in your rooms with a newborn to tend to. Were you surprised to hear the envelope jingle a bit when you picked it up? Buy little Dorimana a cute little hat with a doober on it, and tell her it's from Pop Pop. Ah. Alright. Well... okay, there's a pathway this way. Which... okay, leads back here into Araj's very peculiar shop. Okay, time to check this place out. And so I think everyone can tag along.
This is the private abode of Alexander Rainforest. Friends make appointments. Clients respect office hours.
Okay, it's locked up. This scrap of bloodied paper is scrawled in an erratic, excitable hand. You've been picking where you shouldn't, Pear Tree, placing the lordlings' fire spitters throughout the city. Disgusting. They leave no blood, there's no art to it all, just burnt ash and corpse cinder. I walk through your basement here as I pen this. It's rather large, roomy. They'd never find all the bits of you if I spread them out here properly. I wonder if that's a letter from Dolar. And this Pear Tree, I guess is a competitor. Maybe they're both followers of Bowl or whatever. The Department of Drains and Underways is aware. Oh yeah, we've read that one before. Well, very curious. I would like to try and get into this home, but this is a crowded street, a lot of eyes. So I want to try and figure out another way to get in there, if possible. Hang on a sec. Oh, there's a hatch there. Interesting. Let us check that out then.
Softer than a whisper. Free for the taking. Wonder what's past this.
Okay, and our guys have followed as usual. So, part of the sewer actually leads here, but I don't suppose you can get back to the sewers from here. Just have a quick look around. Maybe there's not really anything interesting. Ooh. I mean, I'll take all of those.
At the ready.
Memory book. A diary filled with anecdotes throughout a child's life spanning 20 years. I stubbed my toe and he laughed so hard he farted. Found a dead rat and insisted we take it home for a proper burial. Come home from school in tears because a rude child scared a butterfly off a flower. Take his gigantic painting. Ooh!
Come on, open up.
Sure, take that. Wedding ring. Maybe his wife passed. Possibly. Just a bit of a ladder going on down here. There's another letter. Final delivery. Oliver Tofoko, the Beehive. We regret to report that we're suspending deliveries of food and dry goods until shipments can once more freely enter the city. Today's delivery is the final one until the situation improves. Rest assured, when deliveries can resume, all of our valued customers will be apprised in a timely fashion. Marknev for Durenbold and Othun provisioners. Yeah, I don't really see anything else. So, let's head back outside.
Better not be
And we didn't really
cursed.
get any checks or anything like that, so...
Any gazetteers around? Need to see if the new edition's out yet.
Alright, so the next house. Oh, there is the Mark of the Absolute up there. Yes, very interesting. Is there another way to get back here?
Coming to help us. We are to be. Should have at least locked the place up proper before they left.
Can I jump up there with enhanced leap? I can. Alright. Well, I think we might need to be selective of who we bring. I mean, I don't even know if there's going to be a fight in there, but we may as well gather up those who can really help, like some of these summons.
No time to rest. Let's get going.
Alright, come on folks.
Careful.
So let's get everyone up there.
Where they're walking. 'Cause that's right. Both these days.
There is work to do.
I'll open the door when we're good and ready, I think, so let's just get everyone
Despite everything.
up there first.
Right, anyway.
Too high. Maybe we don't have the angle. Oh, actually, no.
Defender of
It's
the
not
people.
Will, that's why.
Place up proper before
2 steps at a time.
Or I've given him the wrong spell. Possibly.
I've got what you need. Defender of the people.
Do you hear those noises coming out the old Albright place?
I've got a long road ahead.
Such authority.
opportunists, the monarch, and not a thought for their neighbours.
Oh god. Alright. Did not mean to do that. Okay. Dead guy in there. Yeah, okay. I mean, that was pretty obvious because we did read that letter, but let's get you up there as well. And we'll just move you in a little bit.
Latest Baldur's Mouth edition. Oh, dynamite. That Lord Gortash should have his own collar. Never mind just an inch.
What do you think happened to the Albrights anyway?
Yeah, there's no space here. Let's just
Sharp
move
as ever.
Will out of the way.
Place up proper before they left.
Good.
Need to keep going.
Looking ahead.
And finally, let's join everyone.
Noises coming out the old Albright place.
Louder than foxes, and all through the
Criminals.
I suppose it doesn't matter if Quoth stays out there, to be honest.
thought for their neighbours.
They're not going to be any help in combat.
And these things have stayed interesting.
Okay,
Let's
so
step forward.
let's have a look around. For all I know, there's probably nothing in here except for the dead body.
Not for communal use, it seems.
Whoops.
Best show some respect. Or some more cunning.
How are people... Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, okay. Ugh. I mean, if they know that there's a dead person in here, why wouldn't they, like, come inside and investigate? Do you know what I mean? Okay, I mean, nothing to see anyway.
Should mind my step.
Should we speak to the dead? Do we even have that? I guess we haven't used it just yet. Let's try. I mean, it's not like we're pursuing Dolar anymore, but still.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
What happened to you?
Murdered. Obviously.
Who are you?
Alexander.
I mean, that's not really a lot of info. Trying to find out if he knows anything about the cult and the ballists. What was your job?
Dogs. Ombudsman.
What the hell is an ombudsman?
Sort problems. Check everything.
Why were you killed?
The corpse remains silent. It does not know. The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Let me just have a look at the journal. So, yeah, we've still got investigate the murders. We really just need to go into that door, or try to get in through the door at the tombstone maker or seller's place. Yeah, trying to just make sure that we get on top of all of the quest updates, otherwise it's going to be a little bit messy. Various letters and stuff here, so we may as well take a look.
That's a friendly looking
Again, we
shadow.
just want to make sure that we're not getting into trouble while we do any of this stuff. Mate, we're worried about you. You've gotten too deep into this conspiracy nonsense, and honestly, it's making you dull. You're coming for drinks tonight. The singing lute at sundown. You'd better be there, or we're going to have to come and get you, and there's no guarantee we'll be sober. Well, little do they know. The Sea Queen's Wrath. Long has the Water Queen's house served to retain the city's favor in the eyes of Umber Lee, whose waves move the ship that from the body of the city itself. Baldur's Gates' position on the Sword Coast makes it the heart of local commerce, but Queen Umberlee could easily drown the city in salt if she chose to. Dedication offered at her temple maintain crucial peace in the region and create a tempting stopping point for sailors through to come ashore and rest upon the bosom of her mercy. But if you cross the sea, the sea bitch, you may pay for it by a visit from her savage Sahwagin servants. I mean, we've fought some of those, right? Alright, let's just look around a little bit more.
Breathe deep and move.
A cheese record. Successful cheeses: red, white, yellow, sharp, mellow. Unsuccessful cheeses: smoked, blue, waxed. He prefers his cheeses crumbled to little pieces. Oh, there's a rat here. Rattan successor. We can speak to him. There.
What's that?
Oh, we can't speak to it. We can... oh, we can. Let's talk to it.
Hello, hello. Ooh, are you the new cheese dropper? I do hope so. I'm almost down to the last crumbs.
That explains why he likes the cheeses in small bits. It's for this guy. What happened to the last cheese dropper?
Alexander was his name. He dropped all manner of morsels, but the cheeses were the best. Until the Red Man visited.
Yeah, that's Dolor. No doubt. Tell me about this Red Man who visited Alexander.
A dwarf, all dressed in red. He smiled and held Alexander close, and then Alexander was shouting and struggling, and soon he was all dressed in red as well. So many red morsels fell out of Alexander. They tasted like salt and rust. Very good, even better than cheese.
Oh, okay. So he had some of his guts or whatever. Well, Alexander is dead.
I feared so. A calamity. He dropped such good cheeses.
Aw. Do you realize you ate Alexander's innards?
Yes, tasty. He didn't need them anymore.
Well,
Go away now. Your delicious scent makes me crave your morsels, but it would be rude to bite you.
well, at least he's got some manners. Well, let's take a look at this. Blood-stained parchment. Messy splatters of deep red-brown adorn this scrap of parchment. Those wishing to face the Dread Lord's tribunal and enter the Temple of Bol must slay the targets on this list and frame the corpses as murder by the Cult of the Absolute. I think we've seen this before, though, so let's move on. Okay, this leads back out that way, which we will definitely check. Urban Exploration, the Undercity. I think we've read that one, so let's not worry. Bit of silver, I'll take that. I think that's it. There's a hatch. So, surprisingly, he didn't do what he said he was going to do, which is, like, split his corpse into pieces and hide them. So... yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything going on down here.
What do you think happens to the old brides anyway?
Okay, let's check out this hatch.
Dragon. No,
Oh.
not just cadavers, but effigies. This isn't just spectacle, it's storytelling.
Well, there are traps in here, obviously, so let's just be a little bit careful. Is it just the one? So why are there other bodies here?
Be cautious.
Because, yeah, my initial assumption is that, like, this is one of Dolor's competitors, so to speak. Ooh. Gonna have to use some inspiration for this. Do we have... oh, we don't have guidance on. Did that not remove it? I mean, it seems idle now, so That's fine, as long as it doesn't explode.
Need to find a way forward. Right tool will do the trick.
Okay, what do we have here? Cataby Pole. Winslow Reginald. Ooh!
A foot.
Looking for that.
Smeared with paint, among other things. This must belong to Dribbles.
Let's take a look at that. We found Dribbles' foot. So... I guess we need to continue looking for more pieces of him. It's still not complete. Abazigol IV. The effigy of Abazigol, who soared on shredded wing. What use his pride? He thought himself a dragon, but died as a worm. Below is an exaggerated signature written in blood, or in the red. Can we speak to these guys? I guess not, because we don't see the green outlines or anything like that, so it's fine. We'll leave those. Faded Scroll of Reversal. The time-bitten parchment of this scroll flakes and frays, obscuring most of its content. It appears to describe the process for breaking an enchantment that has bound a mighty dragon into another's service. Okay, what do we have going on in here? Record of ownership. A note detailing ownership details of Candle Hollow's tombstones. Has existed as Candle Hollow's funeral arrangements for generations, owned by Candle Hollow family. Attempted rebrand after Laelena Candle Hollow took over 1492 DR to Candle Hollow's tombstones. Rebrand to focus on our core values, getting folk buried fast. Laelena turned over to Fist for obscene necromantic practices by local adventurers. Unclear as to where she's jailed. Shop hasn't sold a tombstone in months. Deed still being paid for? No note of payee? Just gets paid. How? Okay, yes. I mean, he is an ombudsman, and he's basically like, you know, doing an audit trail of this particular residence, well, the Candle Hollow's residence, and found things to be a bit suspicious. Again, I feel like the targets on the list, there's some reason to why these people were chosen. Observation notes. A note addressed to Alexander Rainforest. Alright, my lot's been watching that tombstone spot for a 10-day now. Seen a bunch of folk in big cloaks going in. Only seen a scant few come out though. It's weird. You'd think it'd be quite cramped in there by now with that many folk inside. It's only a tiny shop. Anyways, your lump sum bought you a 10-day. You want more of your time? Pay up. All the best, Roa Moonglow. Yeah. So they're definitely going through that door. Which, don't worry guys, we will get to that. Just more interested in exploring the lower city first. The Mortal View. An eyewitness account of the Balespawn crisis. The guild seal on the inside of the cover belongs to a printmaking collective in Baldur's Gate. Of course I remember. Knew the second that girl was walking that she'd be trouble. Little thief, always in everyone's business, and that ward of Gorion went right along with her. No surprise a wicked god's blood was running in their veins. Anonymous at Candlekeep. Saravok and his lot are always the first one to come to mind. You know, this all started with a bit of iron in Nashkel. Everyone thought their weapons would rot out of their hands. Back then, I thought the problem was bad trade. Never took the man for a son of Baal. Amnian mercenary, interviewed on his deathbed. You dare speak that name to me. My mistress was turned to ash fighting those forsaken wretches. I curse Baal, I curse Irenicus, and I curse you, hostile vampire at Athkatla slums. The 5 tore Tether to pieces. I don't think anyone expected more Baal spawn showing up would fix the war that a pack of them started. Then again, they were all inclined to killing each other, eh? Good riddance. Here's hoping every last one of them has been wiped off the face of Faerun. Saradash Merchant, retired. I'm not authorized to be talking about any murder with someone like you. Take it up with the Sea Tower if you want to argue. But honestly, who cares if a Baal spawn got it stuck to them? Their father's the killing type after all. Flaming Fist Gauntlet, Baldur's Gate. Several hundred more interviews follow, most of them terse. Okay. Let's have a look around some more. Take that. And is that everything? It might be. Oh, hang on. What is this? What abides below? Plamondon tell us that Grey Harbour was a small coastal village before Baldur returned with his sea treasure and founded a great city here. But the vast subterranean ruins hidden beneath our modern city's sewer system tell a very different story. There was a city on the bite of the lower Chionthar ages before Baldur built his sea tower. A metropolis of grand boulevards and granite towers opened the sky before the unknown cataclysm that split them to their foundations and then swallowed them into the bedrock. Who were these forgotten people who lived in the ages before Baldur? Perhaps more importantly, who or what still lives in the ruins of that tumble-down port town below? What things, creatures, or creations lurk deep beneath our streets, and do they have designs on what we like to think of as our world on the surface above? Anything else worth looking at? Tombstone shop notes? I'd come across several pointers toward the Candle Hollow's Tombstone's shop, so I decided to use my spare time for a while to watch it for suspicious activity. Indeed, the place is strange. It seems disconnected from Candle Hollow's main mortuary business over in Eastway. In fact, they don't seem to sell anything at all. There's one callow shop lad who hangs about looking bored. Otherwise, there's just the occasional customer who enters and then stays inside for a while. Sometimes for hours. When they leave, these customers seem different somehow. I'd swear I saw one go in and out in the same clothes but leave wearing a different face. Must stay alert. I think the shop lad may have noticed me hanging around. I'll give this observation just one more day. Okay. Don't really see anything else here. No hidden pathways or anything like that, so I think it's time to go back up. Let's group everyone. And I think we're done in this entire house, potentially. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, I think we've seen everything. So, I don't know if it's a good idea to go back out from where we came. But,
Defender of the people.
the thing that I might do very quickly is just place this in there. And perhaps maybe the other boots as well. Since we might have a need to switch between the two.
And I'm off.
There is a traveler's chest here. Although we do have a lot of eyes.
These boots have seen everything.
But I might quickly check this if we can get away with it. I think we can.
My tool will do the trick.
Good off because of the absolute, didn't they?
Yeah, we'll take a little bit of that. That's fine. Alright, so time to jump down. And we are taking a little bit of damage there if we do without Featherfall. So let's switch back to the other boots.
Let's move.
And let's jump down. And hopefully everyone and everything should follow.
Louder than foxes and all
Moving ahead.
Know what it is, don't you?
Am I needed?
opportunists.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Right.
Seen any gazetteers around?
So Old Gallows, we've been to... Is this the counting house? Might be. We'll keep the counting house for a little bit later. I think we want to go to the Blushing Mermaid first, so let's do that.
Moving in. Seems like a good moment to talk.
Don't go peeking in the window of that house on the corner. You might get an arrow to the face.
The house in the corner. Is he referring to... like Old Gallows, or...
To the old brides anyway.
Probably not the counting house, right?
Stupid of him if you ask me. Move along, nothing to see here. At least by day, thank the gods.
By the day? Okay. There be something going on here at night. But it's not like we have a choice to explore this place at night, though. To whom it may concern, I would like to request an appointment during which I can discuss my request for an appointment with Mr. Glitterbeard. Thank you, Ammon Day. You need an appointment for an appointment? Or to make another appointment? Pinned to an invoice for a hefty sum billed to the counting house is the following note. A reminder, our repairs in the vault level encompassed the mechanical systems only. We have drained the seawater from all levels and resealed the walls, but reactivation of any magical defenses will need to be carried out by a certified member of the Gondian Guild. I would not recommend carrying out such repairs until the source of the harbor disturbances is identified and dealt with. Even the counting house cannot afford multiple visits from Great Gon's artificers. Private shipment. Reminder to the cash guard on duty. Head banker Glitterbeard is expecting a shipment that is to be carried down to the main vault without the customary checks. The head banker's personal guard will see to any further arrangements. Oh, that's very suspicious. A crate or barrel, maybe, full of tadpoles, is my guess. Come to think of it, I know we do want to try and find Minsk, but if there's a scrap to be had here, it might be better if we have the steel watch out of the way. Maybe. In which case, we probably want to go to the foundry first before we even hit up the counting house. Yeah, I think we'll proceed that way.
He'll have our heads.
Cash guards. No one will publish me. My friend, tragedy has struck. Remember the invitation you wrangled for me to visit Volo's salon? The moment I saw him, I couldn't help but fall to my knees, speechless before such a great man. As I dabbled like a fool, all of his riderly friends poked jibes at me until I felt forced to flee for shame. Now all the literary gate is mocking me, before I've even published a single story. I fear no one shall ever publish me now. Whatever should I do? Rare book request. Is there any chance you have in stock Legendary Men, the Girdle of Masculinity? I've been looking for this account for a long time, but so many poke fun when I ask after it. I'm convinced the girdle isn't a myth, and I intend to don it myself. And I find it, when I find it one day. Any other text mentioning the relic would make my day. So maybe this is some kind of a bookshop. It's my guess. Nancy Greta.
Back again? I know a reader when I see one. What'll it be?
I don't think we've been here before, have we? We've got a lot of books at home, actually, and it'll be good to be able to get rid of some of those, especially the ones that don't really have a purpose. I mean, plenty of scrolls. Do we need them? I don't know. We've got plenty of scrolls at home. Not at home. On us. So we probably don't need that. Let's have a look around, though. The bibliophile recommends. I won't bother making broad recommendations to my readers. The diversity of your preferences is so broad that what tickles one would offend another. Instead, let me offer my suggestions by category. Reference books. The Life of Gorion by E.M. Sparks, a highly detailed biography of the great arcanist of Candlekeep, which spares no details regarding the upbringing of his now famous ward. Fungi Forever by Schwartz, a must-have reference for city foragers. Mysteries, Who Am I? By Gloria Gercom. One halfling's search to discover her family origin, ending with a twist so unexpected I jumped out of my seat. The Girl with Sparkles in Her Hair by Saba Babin, a love story turned murder mystery, equal parts heartwarming and heart-wrenching. Poetry, Under These Moons by Thasidae Gatework, a collection of poetry by Baldurian tieflings, the first compilation of its kind, and utterly unforgettable. The Illustrated Adventures of Balduran. This book is packed full of tales of adventure. The monsters are ferocious, the men are muscled, the women are buxom, and the clothing is easily torn. Something is cleft in twain on every other page, although you do find a passage that's a little less bloody. The woman's eyes were dusky, filled with mystery and promise. Is this something that we may have read? Balduran was intrigued. Anything? He asked. Anything, she said. Just name it, and it can be yours. And what do you want in return? Oh, just a small thing, she smiled. Balduran laughed. Nothing about him was small. I want your soul, Balduran, she sighed. Give me your spirit, and whatever you desire shall be yours. Balduran considered this for a moment. Very well, I want a turnip. She hesitated. Your soul in exchange for a turnip? A nice turnip, nodded Balduran. Very well. Dark smoke swirled around the woman, whose skin was turning red. Then you shall... The next couple of pages have been torn out. When the story resumes, the woman, now fully revealed as a devil, is kneeling at Balduran's feet. Curse you, Balduran. I am bound to you, yours to call upon when you need me, and your soul is your own once more. Let that be a lesson to you, laughed Balduran. Never underestimate the power of a turnip. Man, I want to know. I want to know what happened. There's a manuscript here as well. This book, the completed manuscript of an adventure story in draft, is covered with notes in Nancy's hand. A few red-inked phrases stand out amid the chaos. This isn't landing. I don't buy it. Doesn't ring true. Did you mean to do it like this? Could do with another pass. Ha! Get rid of what this is. Good flow. Alright, I buy it. Seriously? Ah, like this? No. It will be good, but it's not there yet. And let's check out what we've got going upstairs. Probably more stuff to read. Dinner at Candlekeep. My dearest pupil, I was worried about... Worried? No, I was wrong about you. During your studies at Candlekeep, you spent much time campaigning for us to maintain copies of adventure novels in the library. I was quite critical. To my shame, I admit, during a lengthy carriage ride, I had no reading matter to hand other than Salty Dog's Curse of the Rum Golem. This old heart has not beat so fast since the last age. You are welcome to return to Candlekeep at any time, and mayhaps we could compose a paper together on this sensation phenomenon. First draft of her story. Plot. Ours is a coming-of-age story. Our protagonist creates the magical world into which he is cast and is heralded as a god, a hero, the greatest of the great. Jonathan is tasked, then, not to ascend to heroics, but to descend back into the chaos and disappointment of the real world with his senses intact. For indeed, what happens if you reach paradise at the end of adolescence? Is it worthwhile to stay in the spires of imagination, or is there true heroism in returning to the complicated world, the real world, leaving fantasy behind? Big chest there. The butler's cane has a knob on the end. This comedy of errors centers around the butler, Vincent Raspington, who, though he is a silly dragonborn with stiff manners and a generally baffled attitude to the goings on of the fine, fair ladies and their gentlemen, ends up going ass over tea kettle into extremely erotic situations with the local nobility. Needless to say, he's unprepared for it. There's a particularly good sequence in which Vincent, a 7-foot-tall dragonborn, must pretend to be a shy little gnome named Missy Wimplesnatch during a banquet. I think we've read that one. Alright, so there is this big chest. And, you know, no one's here to see us do it. We may as well just take a quick peek. Ooh. Well, I should have put a bonus on, put some guidance on. Getting complacent on all of that. First draft, characters, world. We'll take a look at all of that. Protagonists. Jonathan Allers. Born and raised in the quiet town of Emmen, Jonathan dreamed of escaping the work-a-day routine of school, work, and leisure. But Jonathan sought something beyond a life of adventure or travel. He wanted to create the worlds of his own imagination. Jennifer Valen, reared in the northerly lands of Boss, Jennifer was fascinated with the natural world, its creatures, physics, and mysteries yet to be discovered. Though she excelled in alchemy, she couldn't shake the feeling that there was a key truth still waiting just beyond reach of the natural world as she knew it. Dragonson, a great warghound twice the size of his littermates, Dragonson set out in search of a worthy companion for his travels, fears nothing in all the realm, except for Tressums. And let's read about the world here. The story begins on a road outside Emmen, where Jonathan is practicing the magic needed to manifest his imaginary world, Hibbermore, into existence. It is a standard dirt footpath amid rolling green hills. Little is described in specific of the world in which our protagonist first resides. This is intentional. I wish our readers to fill in the normal world according to their own standards and tropes. such that this story feels as universal as possible. Hibermore is a land of frosted peaks, ice-glass lakes, and cozy villages nestled at the foot of great mountains. Ice fairies patrol the land in service of Queen Tumbra, who presides over the entire realm and has for all time. Jonathan's arrival will mean the fulfillment of prophecy. He is destined to rule alongside her as God King until the end of days. There you go. Interesting story.
Breathe deep.
Let's go back down. And can we finally go to the Blushing Mermaid? I think it's time. If I can stop, like, finding interesting things outside the Blushing Mermaid, that is. I am curious to speak to these guys, though. These cash guards.
This uniform's neat, isn't it? But why am I... Oh, wait. I had a shift at the counting house. Oops.
I wonder if we could, like, dress up as any of these cash guards to get into the counting house and maybe get into some restricted areas.
I'm off the clock, Ducarl. Or I would be if it weren't for this blithering idiot. If you've got business at the counting house, it's just down the road.
Drink up.
Belly up to the bar. We have mead, beer, and wine. Gold won't quench your thirst. Get yourself a mug of joy.
Sure.
We've got Mary Fairweather.
It's up for discussion.
It's so unfair. I tried to go to Duke Gortash's ceremony, but it was a closed event. All I wanted was a peek at him. He's gorgeous.
Well, you should consider yourself lucky that you didn't get to go. Tongs.
If I'm not swinging a hammer working, I'm swigging a mug here drinking.
I like her attitude. Hiccups Borton. Completely passed out. Oh, look at this place. Wow. That's actually quite the spectacular building. I wonder if it used to be an actual boat that was used, you know, to sail around, and maybe it got stranded and then they just decided to build the pub here, build the tavern. Let's have a chat with people on the outside first. Zena?
Keep bloody wits about you in here. The captain is trying to keep it hush-hush, but I heard a kid got nabbed.
Well, that's what we're here for. I know. The child's called Vanra, right?
Knew it. No wonder Captain Grizzly shoots daggers at anyone who mentions it. My guess, it's them squatters. Spotted a bunch of misfits sneaking into one of them boarded-up houses. Ugh, animals. Lord Gortash will find that kid and sort all this out. Just you wait.
Okay, she's probably referring to the hag survivors. Rimbus?
Wondrous news. Baldur's Gate has a new duke. Gortash will do marvelously. Don't you think?
Mermaid Whiskey. Anti-hag support group poster. Yeah, we've seen that. Nesha?
My friend dared me to come here alone for a couple of mugs of ale. So here I am.
And where's your friend?
Bottoms up for our Baldur's Bones winners. Ante's up for the next session. Same time every 10 day.
Oh, God. Okay, it's apparently stealing. My bad, my bad.
This calls for careful follow. I just want to know that
We don't really have eyes on us, so... Sure. Let's just in case, let's do a quick save. Yeah. Good. You all saw nothing.
Time to press ahead.
This winding road leads us... is this an area that we've been to? Bloomridge Park. No, it looks familiar because I thought it was maybe the graveyard. Definitely not. We'll go in here later. I want to do a loop around just so that we're not missing anything outside of the Blushing Mermaid. And then we'll obviously step inside and continue from there.
They'll get used to it.
Larka Mena.
New to the city, are you? Don't worry. It's not as scary as it seems.
If everyone made room for a few more, there'd be no refugee crisis. City'd be better for it too. Never thought I'd have a tricky in refugees.
Can't miss my first roll call for the fists.
You might want to wash up first. Got a few souvenirs from the night stuck to your chin.
Oh, that plum prosecco. Oh, God, never again. Never again. Solemn oath. Solemn vow. Solemn...
Plum Prosecco. Oh man, that sounds delicious.
And now these buns, Dickon. You're wasted. Wasted.
No, you're wasted. Bleary.
One last binge is just what we needed. Because tomorrow, we wake up as flaming fists.
Oh, okay. Are they getting drafted? Is there a draft on for the Flaming Fist? Okay, this loops back to Araj's place. So, yeah, let's get in there. I guess the main entrance would do. I didn't exactly see anything pointing out that there was, you know, a draft for the Flaming Fist. I thought they were all just like volunteering. Maybe they all decided to volunteer.
I'm not.
They're worrying about something?
That's your worried face.
Yeah, she looks a little worried.
You're going on a date? Are you joking? The city is a hair's breadth from violence, and we're shipping off at first light.
So? I'll be back by then.
Mate, you'd be late to your own funeral. Look, skip the date, and I'll take you out the next time we port, all right?
Ah. Oh, damn. This could be a chance for us to save this guy. And this dwarf as well, maybe. I don't know if this is really what we want, or... Let's do it anyway. She's right. You should leave the city while you still have the chance. But leaving the city would mean that they'd be out there with the Absolute's armies sort of barreling down. Is that a good idea?
See? The slightly creepy eavesdropper agrees with me.
Yes,
I'll
yes.
sweeten the deal. Come back tonight, and I'll give you the good hammock.
Bloody hells. You're like a stray with a bone. Fine, but only because it's you asking.
Let's have a chat with her.
I have a date to get to. Finish your bloody drink.
I'll finish it in my own damn time, thank you very much. You know the captain won't wait for you, right?
Yes, I have sailed with him before, many times.
Placer Varen.
If you had to choose the rat one or the blonde one, which should I? Which would you choose?
I mean, it's nice that you've got a choice. What are you talking about?
Red one or blonde one?
I don't know. Blonde, maybe?
You're right. You're so right.
Bosun! A blonde lager, please!
Okay. Let's have a chat with the bartender. Maybe we can get some info from him about this missing child.
No pissing or shitting. If you break it, you pay for it. Any fighting and Captain Grizzly has sank you. Got it?
Let's take a look at what he has to sell first, though. Oh, booze, of course, yeah. I mean, what was I thinking? What if I really, really need to use the latrine? I'm here about the missing girl, Vanra.
Gods above. Not again. You pull a knife on me like the last one and you're getting a boot, you hear?
Who pulled a knife on you?
That woman, Laura, whatever her bloody name is. She was screaming her head off about some kid. Tore the place apart. Bloody disturbing. Captain Grizzly had to clock her in the end. Threw her out on her arse. Good riddance.
Was that the person that we spoke to get the quest in the first place? Possibly.
If you're here to complain that the booze tastes like piss, I know. Anything else?
And he still has customers anyway, so... Well, can we redo that?
Gods above. Not again. You pull a knife on me like the last one and you're getting a boot, you hear?
Didn't think a tough guy like you would be scared of a little knife.
I've killed people with a splinter, mate. Of course I'm wary of a blade. Laura was her name. Started tearing the place apart. Screaming about some kid. Bloody disturbing it was. Captain Grizzly had to clock her in the end.
So there's this Captain Grizzly, who we haven't exactly seen just yet. Yeah, we met Laura. The Blushing Mermaid bartender told us that Laura was behaving strangely. She even pulled a knife on him. The owner of the tavern, Captain Grizzly, had to throw Laura out. We should speak to Captain Grizzly about it. We shall. We shall do that. But I think this is probably, since we're in a tavern and everything, we may as well take a break here. So when we come back, we'll have that chat with the captain, and I mean, since we're on this quest line, we might, you know, divert our attention to try and find this Vanra, if it leads us sort of within this direction here, or if it leads us back to an area that we've actually been to. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you very much as usual, guys, for watching. Drop me a like down below if you did enjoy it. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.